We live in an age of praise, of constant positivity, of unlimited freedom. No one commands us anymore. No one watches us with cold eyes, hidden cameras, or interrogation rooms. Today, control is sweet, silent, and most terrifying of all, voluntary. We feel free, yet we are trapped. We feel happy, yet we are exhausted. We believe we're in charge, but we obey with a smile. Have we traded freedom for a false sense of control? Are we happier or simply terminally positive? What if this very happiness is a subtle form of domination? And how does the new technology of control keep tabs on us without the need for a single camera? South Korean philosopher Byung-Chul Han might just have the answers we need. Join us as we unpack his ideas to find out how he believes we are tired, happy, and watched, yet remain blissfully unaware. We live in an age of perpetual activity, endless choice. But how much of this is truly ours? The old regime of power was overt. It said, "You cannot." It established clear boundaries, defined what was right and wrong, and often forced compliance. The new power of today, however, operates through softer, more insidious means. It says, "You can do anything." Welcome to the era of limitless possibilities, or so it seems. The reality is starkly different. Today, we don't need external oppressors. We exploit ourselves in the name of productivity, performance, and success. Byung-Chul Han, a leading voice in contemporary philosophy, points out that under this new regime, the neoliberal subject is both master and slave. We run because we want to. We work endlessly because we choose to. But this choice is just a new kind of domination. The shackles are now internalized. We monitor, pressure, and punish ourselves. The workplace may be more lenient, but it's only an illusion. We are answerable to a higher calling, to our own self-imposed mandates of excellence. The gym reminds us we're slacking. The inbox pings, deadlines loom. The smartphone screens illuminate our faces, reflecting the glow of 24/7 connectivity. When we fail, it's because we didn't try hard enough. If we're exhausted, it's because we lack discipline. If we're unhappy, it's our own fault. The onus of happiness, productivity, and success lies squarely on our shoulders. And should we falter, the world offers no solace. We are judged not by external standards, but by the exacting yardstick of our own setting. We have become our own harshest critics, our own jailers. In this regime, punishment has vanished. In its place, guilt has emerged, an even more potent form of control. But what about happiness, the relentless pursuit of which seems to be the new religion of our times? The air is thick with platitudes. Stay positive. Just change your mindset. Gratitude brings good things. These mantras, while seemingly innocuous, have wormed their way into the very fabric of our existence. Byung-Chul Han terms this the toxic positivity of the neoliberal age. Happiness, he argues, has been hijacked, turned into a product and a requirement. Just as we are expected to be relentlessly productive, we are also mandated to be happy. This expectation is so deeply ingrained that questioning it has become almost heretical. We are surrounded by motivational quotes and self-help gurus dispensing advice on how to achieve that elusive happiness. But true happiness, he suggests, cannot be manufactured by sheer willpower or positive thinking. Yet this is the illusion we buy into. We chase happiness like a mirage, believing that it lies just over the next hill of self-improvement books or seminars. But when we reach that hill, we find only more platitudes and the promise of even greater happiness just beyond the next horizon. And so we keep running, perpetually seeking, but never attaining that manufactured bliss. Instead, we find ourselves trapped in a vicious cycle of disappointment and the toxic positivity that only compounds it. To dissent is to be labeled a killjoy. Those who question are branded as negative, and so we swallow the bitter pill of discontent, smile, and pretend. Critique vanishes in the face of enforced cheerfulness. Happiness has become a compulsory performance. We are actors on a stage where authenticity has been sacrificed at the altar of positivity. We go through the motions, nodding, smiling, liking, sharing, commenting. We have become adept at maintaining the illusion, at feigning happiness, so that the gears of the system continue to turn smoothly. But beneath the surface, a quiet disquiet brews. If happiness is a performance, then what about privacy, intimacy, solitude? What happens when these fundamental aspects of human experience are sacrificed at the altar of productivity and happiness? They too become commodities in the marketplace of our lives. Byung-Chul Han argues that transparency, once a beacon of openness and honesty, has been twisted into a tool of exposure and control. He says we live in a digital panopticon, but without a watchtower. Let's break this down. The panopticon, conceived by the English philosopher Jeremy Bentham in the 18th century, was a prison design that placed the inmates in cells arranged around a central tower from which guards could observe them. This constant awareness of being watched, Bentham argued, would make the prisoners behave in a self-regulating manner. Even when no guard was physically present in the tower, the inmates would still behave as though they were being watched. They would internalize the gaze of the guard, making the prison self-regulating and therefore more efficient. Now let's introduce the concept of a digital panopticon. Just as the inmates in Bentham's prison were constantly aware of the possibility of being watched, we too are always aware of the possibility of being monitored in the digital age. The difference, as Byung-Chul Han points out, is that we willingly walk into this panopticon. We post pictures of ourselves online. We share our thoughts and feelings on social media. We allow algorithms to track our every move, not because we are forced to, but because we want to. We want to be part of the conversation. We want to be connected. But as Byung-Chul Han argues, this transparency is not a sign of freedom, but a hell of exposure. When we are always on display, we are always being evaluated, categorized, and filed away. Our privacy, our right to keep certain things to ourselves, ceases to exist. And so we become nothing more than our online personas, our likes, our shares, our comments, reduced to data points in a vast digital marketplace. We live in an age of perpetual visibility. Every click, every like, every comment adds another layer to our digital skin. The boundaries between our online and offline selves blur. We are always performing, always on display. This has become the norm. But what does it mean for our sense of self? What happens to our privacy, our intimacy, our solitude? These are no longer seen as strengths, but weaknesses, areas that need to be fixed, optimized, monetized. Privacy is seen as something we can do without. Intimacy is viewed as outdated, inefficient. Solitude is pathologized. We are encouraged to be always on, always connected. But is this really what we want? Is this the freedom we have been striving for? Or have we been tricked into accepting a new form of domination, one that is far more insidious than the old because it is invisible? Byung-Chul Han calls for a rebellion against this tyranny of happiness, productivity, and transparency. But this rebellion is not a loud, brash affair. It is quiet, subversive, deeply personal. It is in the small acts of resistance, in choosing to step back, to opt out, to say no to the relentless demands of the system. It is in reclaiming our time, our space, our silence. As Han argues, it is in the ability to be alone with ourselves, to reflect, to think, to dream, to imagine a world beyond this one that the system fears. It is in our silence that the seeds of true freedom are planted. We are tired, happy, and watched, and we call it freedom. But there is a way out, and it's not in loud protest or fast-paced resistance. It's in silence, in reflection, in refusal, refusing to expose everything, refusing hyperproductivity, refusing mandatory happiness. It's in the stillness that we reclaim our humanity, our individuality, our agency. Byung-Chul Han invites us to listen to the silences, to find strength in stillness. Perhaps real freedom begins when we stop trying to be everything, to show everything, to do everything. When we stop, we breathe, we reflect, we question. The system doesn't fear strength, it fears those who think in silence. And if you like this video, check out our other thought-provoking content. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more engaging philosophical explorations.